Hey YouTube, Sam Explains here, and lately I've been getting asked a lot to do some weapon guides, so I figured it's a pretty good time to make my first weapon guide. I am still going to be doing the rest of the normal Descendants, however, I figured I'd just kind of like mix it up a little bit. I just did the updated bunny guides, so kind of wanted to just do something a little bit different besides the normal Descendant, so I did another poll, and a lot of you guys seem to want the weapon guides. I'm not really sure in what order I'm going to do them in. I just finished my grind for the Enduring Legacy like a few days ago and ended up maxing it out. So I figured since I already know the in and outs of this weapon, I would break it down for you guys kind of like I do with my Descendant guides and then just show you guys where to get everything, how to do everything. Keep in mind the second part of this, the synthetic fiber, you are going to either have to fight Deadbride or Devourer if you want the 32% drop rate on that. If you're not able to do that, there is a normal option for it, but the drop chance for it is pretty low, so I wouldn't recommend it. So if you are not yet at Deadbride or Devourer in hard mode, you might want to hold off farming this weapon. But if you can down those bosses, you will be able to farm this pretty efficiently because the drop rates are pretty high. This is going to be 20%, this is 32%, 32%, and then 10%. So that's basically how that's going to go down. Let's go ahead and get started. And the semi-permanent plasma, it's going to be in Vespers, and we'll teleport to Timberfall, and you're just going to run around the map and scan, and you're just going to open these boxes, and that's how you do that. Semi-permanent plasma, I'm sure you guys are already aware, but as you know, the blue mats are always going to be out in the open world, dedicated to a specific part of the map. And then you would just teleport in there, go wherever on that map, and then you would just open these resource boxes and munition boxes, and that's how you would get that. Same thing with the reverse charging coils. So this one's going to be located in the fortress, so we'll go ahead and teleport there and go to the defense line, run around the map and scan the area, and you should get some reverse charging coils. They can also be in these resource boxes right here, see, like right there. And then we got some more right there. So you would just run around the map and do that till you have enough. The thermal metallic foils are going to be those volt mats. You can get these from mission monsters. It's just a lot less efficient. And if you have Enzo, he will give you increased rewards from this. So we're going to go ahead and go to Echo Swamp. For the volt mats, I like to teleport to somewhere like small, so I don't have to run around the map. So I'm going to teleport to Misty Woods. We're going to go ahead and change to Enzo and then turn our audio on. And once you hear this sound, it means you are headed in the right direction of a bolt. And you're just going to run up and find it, and then you're going to hack it. And it's going to be right here. These will rotate throughout the map, so they can move a little bit. Just keep that in mind. So you're just going to hold E on it, or if you're on a console, whatever button to interact, and then you will hack it. And that's how you'll do that. There's some thermal metallic foil and Kuiper shards. Again, always equip Enzo when you are farming for those volt mats. If you do not have him, you can still farm for the volt mats. It just won't be as optimal. And then we're going to move on to the first main piece that we're going to need for the Enduring Legacy. So as you can see, all of our options are hard bosses. So the one that we're going to do is, so this is going to be for just overall. I don't want to show a hard boss because maybe a lot of players can't do that yet. So we're going to do this option down here at the outpost, and it's going to be a 20% drop rate. So this is the one that we're going to be doing. If you have like a geared Descendant where you can just run in there and like one shot the hard bosses in like a few seconds, then obviously this method might not be the best for your time. However, if you aren't that far into the game yet, and or if you just prefer outpost over like hard dungeons into hard bosses, this is the method that you would do. So that's going to be over here in the Derelict Covert. So we're going to teleport here, and you're going to change to Sharon and come up here, and we're just going to drop down and hack the outpost. Make sure you do have these mods on, maximize duration and skill extension, to give you more times to hack. So we're going to stealth in. And we're just going to disable these machines. I literally can't move. And this one's pretty easy because it only has 3. Hop up on this rock right here, shoot him in the head. and there you go. Nice, we got a stabilizer. But that's how you would do that. We'll teleport back, and then we need to go fight this boss over here to open the pattern, and that will cost inorganic and organic shards. So make sure you do have those farmed up. I forgot to change my world to private, but it's fine. We can do this in public. And it looks like somebody already started the boss, so I'm just going to jump in and help here. So this guy, he drains you if you're too close, and he has immunity orbs. He does do a lot of damage, so you do want to be careful. This guy is a huge pain in the ass, especially if you're like under geared. Sometimes you can jump up on this box to get a good angle, and he misses a lot of his abilities, so that is always an option if you are struggling with this guy. But you can also set it to public, that way you can have like other people helping you that are doing the boss as well if you are struggling in solo. And that's going to be right here. See how it has a 20% drop rate? So you would just open this one and then roll it and hope you get it. Which we did not, but that's okay. I already have mine maxed, but that's how you would do it. Then we're going to need to grab the ceramic composites, which is going to be in the White Knight Gulch. So let's go ahead and go to the observatory. And same thing as all the other blue mats. You just want to open these and it has a chance to give you some, like right there. We got some, so same thing, blue mats are super easy. Then we're going to need some Hellion, which is going to be located in the fortress. Let's go ahead and go to the defense line. You can find a lot of boxes up here, but usually I just go like right here just because it usually gives me what I want, but you'll have to get like, you know, quite a bit of them. But it really doesn't take that long to get the ones that you need. Run around the map, scan the area, and I am just going to go over here for the sake of the video. But you would just open these. We did not get it, so I'll go to a different location. There we go, we got some Hellion. Sometimes you might get unlucky, you'll open like 4 or 5, it doesn't give it to you, but just keep running around the map. It doesn't matter where you teleport, it just has to be in this specific area. It can be anywhere in the fortress. You don't have to follow me. It can be like over here in the Frozen Valley, Aurora Forest, Fallen Ark, like whatever. It really doesn't matter, but you would just loot this map basically, and you'll get them pretty quickly. Then we got another Volt mat, which is going to be the highly concentrated energy residue. So again, we are going to equip Enzo. We are going to go to Hagios. I don't like Starfall Road. Alright, then we're going to teleport to the Dune base, and then we're just going to run around the map and try and find one of those Volts. Alright, it took me a minute, but I finally hear one, so we're going to go find that, and then we're going to loot it. Probably in this cave, I'd imagine. Yep. And then here we go, and we're just going to hack it.
That's an intriguing code, but it's still a piece of cake.
And there we go, we got 10 energy residue, so that's how you would do that material. Very simple. The annoying part is just trying to find them, but they buff these, so you do get a lot more mats now, so it shouldn't take you too long. Maybe like 1 or 2 volts to get 1 Enduring Legacy. It's really not that bad. If you are struggling because you do not have enough of those code breakers and or code analyzers, you can always come over here to Anticipated Ambush Point. This mission is extremely quickly. It's over here in the Sterile Land. You would teleport to Rockfall and just like run this mission for like probably like half an hour or however long you want to do it, and you'll get some code breakers and or analyzers. This is usually where I go when I try to farm them. Just equip your bunny and run around, and you should finish the mission in like 30 to 45 seconds depending on how geared you are. It's really quick. All right, and then moving on, this is the piece that I said we are going to need to fight a hard boss earlier, because if you can see here, our only options are hard bosses unless you want to do Stunning Beauty, which this one I wouldn't recommend it, because for one, you can only get this in special operations, which is going to take a lot of time, and for two, the drop rate is extremely low, so we want to ignore this option. It's just not worth it. So for this one specifically, it's going to be a toss-up between Dead Bride and Devourer. Depending on how far you are in the game, it might be easier to do one or the other. Like for example, Devourer for me is extremely easy because my ultimate bunny is like full build, so this is what I did to farm mine. However, if you have like a different Descendant, Dead Bride might be easier for you, so this is how you would get that piece. However, I know people might not be that far into the game yet, or maybe you're not geared enough yet to take those hard bosses on, so there is an option here to do it in normal, but here's the downside. So these two are going to be 32% drop rate, and then this one, if I go look in the journal, see this, it's going to drop it all the way down to 6%. So you're going from a 32% chance to a 6% chance. That is a significant drop, and it might take you a lot longer, especially considering you're going to need like, what, 5 copies of these? Or 4? No, it is 5, yeah. So I wouldn't recommend doing the normal one. That's just my take. You can play the game however you want to play the game. I'm just giving you your options. So unfortunately, if you want the high percent drop rate, you're gonna have to get geared enough to fight Devourer or Dead Bride. So I'm going to equip my Enduring Legacy, and we're just going to go kill Devourer. If you are interested to see my build on it, this is the build. I am not saying that this is the best Enduring Legacy build that you could possibly make. I am probably never going to make that claim that, hey guys, this is the best build, just because things change so much and people find new ways to make the builds better. However, this is the one that I am using. I just tested it off some other YouTube video I saw. I mean, it seems okay. It's, you know, I'll let you make up your mind. If you want to copy this build, you absolutely can. Keep in mind though, the big thing is a lot of the community is debating whether SPS is better, which is Sharp Precision Shot here, over Mental Focus. This one basically is good because it gives you a 2-second cooldown of where you are able to not hold your firing trigger, and this is going to stack the more times you shoot. So basically the idea here is you just stack up a lot of magazine. That way you just have like, you know, 200, 250 bullets and you just light them up, whereas Sharp Precision Shot is going to give you buffs in other areas and increase your fire rate and attack, but you have to hold on to the trigger. I'm not going to go into it. Anyways, y'all build what y'all want to build. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this, and I will go fight Devourer with my Valby. And if you're interested, this is my Valby build. So we are just going to do Enduring Legacy and Supply Moisture, and then y'all can see if this is something that maybe that y'all want to invest in. Again, I'm not saying these are the best builds. I'm sure there are better builds out there, but this is just to give you kind of like a general idea. So depending on which one you want to fight, either Dead Bride or Devourer, you can do both options to get that synthetic fiber. They're both going to be a 32% drop rate if you have the pattern. So let's go ahead and we will do Devourer. And that's going to be this one, pattern 78. See at the bottom there, the Enduring Legacy Synthetic Fiber Blueprint, 32% chance. And if we scroll over it, you have to go do this mission in the Shelter and Hard mode. That's how you're going to get the pattern for it to drop. And then after you get the pattern, you would come fight Devourer, and that's going to be in Vespers right here. You can also queue for it from Albion if you want. So let's go ahead and start this up. And I was going to do this with Bunny, but then I was like, wait, that's probably not a good idea, just because I'm trying to showcase the potential of the weapon and not really the Descendant. Bunny would nuke Devourer too fast. So I decided I'm going to do it on Valby. And we'll just go ahead and fight the boss. I'm just going to set up this so I have some room, since I'm running Supply Moisture. And then basically you just want to hold down the trigger. And you guys can kind of see the damage here. It's pretty good. And you just shoot his shoulders and then his kneecaps. And there you go. That's basically it. I mean, that's the fight. Again, it is going to vary based on your build and how far in the game you are. I have no life this game since launch. So if you are not here yet, don't feel bad. Like I literally have spammed this game like out of my mind. So, but that's how you would do it. It's probably going to take you a little bit longer if you're not as built as I am. Plus I have as I said, I have a fully maxed out Enduring Legacy. So, but that's basically the potential of the gun. Then you would just come over here and loot this. And we're going for this piece right here, Enduring Legacy Synthetic Fiber. Roll it. And there we go, we got it. So it's a 32% chance, so it's a pretty good shot, you'll get it. All right, moving on, we're gonna go to the Metal Accelerant, which is going to be in the Sterile Land, and we can teleport to wherever, but we can go ahead and go to the classified area, that's fine. Press the scan key, run around the map, and just loot the resource boxes and ammunition boxes, and you should get some. There's some Metal Accelerant, so very simple. Then we're going to go get some carbon crystals, and that's going to be in Hagios, so we can go to let's go to the corrupted zone. Then press the scan key, and you'll have a few of the munition things here, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Carbon crystal, there we go. And you can just loot these for good measure, because you are going to need quite a few of these. Just because you need to craft like 5 copies of these, so whatever you need, you're going to need to times that by 5. But anyways, you guys get the idea. It'll all be an RNG of what it gives you. Then moving on, we got the Deformed Biometal. So as you guys can see here, it gives you just a couple of options. You're going to get these from Outpost. So these ones are kind of weird just because for whatever reason, I don't think this is intended, but when you go into hard mode, it does drop more. However, sometimes it does not drop them just because sometimes the gold reactor takes the place of the material. I believe I read that somewhere, don't quote me on that, but we're still going to do it in hard mode anyway. But a lot of these mats seem to be better to do in normal just because they seem to have like 100% drop rate. I'm still going to do it in hard, but you could try doing these options in normal if you wanted to, but I'm going to just go here. I'll click the first one here and we can go to this one over here in the fortress, and we just got to nuke the outpost, and the boss will drop some. Alright, and then you can hack this if you want, but I'm just going to run in there and nuke it. So, just going to do this, and then boop. And then he should drop some. Yeah, there we go. Deformed Biometal. So that's how you would do that. Next up, we're going to have the Enduring Legacy Nano 2 blueprint. So you have pretty much 2 options here. So the pattern 87 here is going to be Hard Pyromaniac. If you are comfortable fighting Hard Pyromaniac, you can do this option if you want to. However, if you don't think you're good enough yet to do that, you can also do the 111 pattern, which is going to be right here. This is going to be pattern 111, and this is going to be over here in Hagios, and it's going to be this outpost right here. So you can do this option if you prefer doing outpost over hard bosses. They're both going to give you a 32% drop rate. So it's kind of personal preference depending on how far you are in the game. So I'm going to show this option just because I feel like more people are going to be able to do hard outposts than they are able to like just kill hard pyromaniac. So we're going to do this one. If you did want to do hard pyromaniac, that would be in the chapel over here in Echo Swamp. You would just go run that and then complete the dungeon, and it would give you an amorph material, and you would then go fight hard pyromaniac. But we are going to do this outpost. So for this one, you are going to need Sharon. So we're going to change to Sharon, and then we're going to run over here and hack this outpost. And for this one, we'll just run in and stealth. And we're just going to disable the machine. I got stuck there. Just going to disable the machines. You can use your grappling hook to get around a little bit further. Remember to have those mods maxed out to give you a little bit more time. This outpost can be a little rough because of all the bomb guys here that spawn. So keep that in mind, and you do more damage with Sharon. See how I died there? I only have increased HP in the stealth mods on my Sharon, so she's not tanky. But you're going to shoot this guy in the head. Re-stealth for the extra damage, and kill the orbs, shoot him in the head again, and there you go. Well, you guys get the point. The bomb guys really mess you up, and that's how you do that. Then after that, you're going to run over here and fight this boss. It's going to be an elite slaughter, so I'm going to teleport over here. I don't have the pattern, but I'm just going to show you guys the boss fight. Just gonna run over here and start the boss. I'm gonna stealth for the extra damage, and we are just going to light them up. There we go, and we're gonna kill them, and then you would loot this orb, and it'll be pattern 111. I don't have it, but you guys get the idea. And that's how you would do that. So yeah, it's really not that difficult. You should be able to do hard outpost. It's highly dependent on which gun you have. I just have a really good thunder cage, so that's why I can like clear the outpost so easily. So depending on what you have, it might be easier or harder. But as far as like modules, like I literally am like bare bones. I don't even have like this even close to maxed. Like this is all I use. So you can definitely do these outposts even if you're a little bit under geared. Way easier in my opinion than doing like hard pyromaniac. Then after that, we're going to come up on the code. As I said, a lot of these options are going to consist of, do you want to fight hard bosses and do the hard dungeons, or do you want to do outpost? The only exception to this is the synthetic fiber, which you're kind of forced into fighting Deadbright or Devourer, but I'll leave it up to you however you want to do it. We're going to do the outpost option, and for this one, all of these are going to be a 10% drop rate for the code, so it doesn't really matter which option you pick, it's just preference of which is easier for you. However, if you are able to beat the first hard boss, you might want to go do Executioner, and the reason for this is because it contains an ultimate Lepic stabilizer at a 20% drop rate, so if you wanted to farm those two things at once, you absolutely could. Swamp Walker I wouldn't recommend, he's just annoying to deal with. And then, of course, you could also do these two outposts. Again, they're all 10%. It's going to be personal preference. For this video, I will show one of these two outposts. I did this one just because I was farming for two things at once. So again, if you do want Ultimate Lepic and you can down Executioner, I would suggest this top option. However, if you just cannot kill hard bosses like whatsoever, we can just go do an outpost instead. That's fine. So for this one, we'll do pattern 119, which is the place that we were at earlier. So this time you will need to hack it. And then after you get the 119 pattern, you would come down here to fight this boss. So let's go hack this outpost, then we'll go fight the boss, and that's how you would do that. As I said, this is going to come down to personal preference. There's no one correct way to do this. It's going to depend where you're at in the game. I am just showing you an outpost option just in case you wanted to do that instead. So let's go ahead and run over there. And then you're just going to stealth in. And we're going to disable these machines. Make sure you always are trying to use your grappling hook. It'll cut out a couple seconds and kind of give you a little bit more breathing room. So we're just going to disable these. We'll go ahead and clear the ads. And then you would just kill the boss. You can just kill the boss if you want to. It really doesn't. However you want to do it is okay. And then you would just do this. And then we'll go ahead and run down here to the boss. I'm going to change to my most powerful Descendant. And then we'll fight the boss lady. Keep in mind this boss can be a little difficult, so if you need to set your world to public, go ahead and do that, because both of these outpost bosses are going to be a little rough if you aren't geared. However, you can set your world to public, and I'm sure other people will be doing it. So you're just gonna kill her. She's gonna do this ice cube thing that you either have to stay inside. You can dodge it, but it's just like really hard to dodge. Just gonna go into phase 2 and then spawn these orbs as we see in a lot of bosses. There's the cube thing. I know y'all couldn't see it too well, but basically you want to either stay inside the cube, or there is like a split second where you can see you're casting it and then you can dodge it. But however you want to do it. And then you're just gonna nuke her down. Again, I am super built, so it might take you a little bit longer than this, depending on where you're at in the game. And then you would just loot the orb, and it would contain a 10% chance for that Enduring Legacy code to drop, and you would just rinse and repeat this over and over. Alternatively, you can go fight an Executioner if you find that that's easier for you. However you would like to do it. And then after that, you have all the pieces, and then you would just rinse and rotate, and you would eventually, ideally, you would want to get it built up to max. So see how mine has these 4 orange dots? That means the unique ability is maxed out. So you will need to do this 5 times if you were trying to get the DPS potential as high as possible, if you're trying to upgrade that unique ability. Really, the only one that I would consider like extremely difficult, or not really difficult, but it has like lower drop rate, is the Enduring Legacy code, since that is at a 10% chance. The other pieces are pretty high drop rate, so if you wanted to, you could just get like 5 copies of each and then craft them right after one's finished, or you could do it one at a time. However you prefer to do it. Just like, don't burn yourself out for this though. Like, you don't have to just get all 5 all at once. You can do this casually, maybe just log on each day, or whenever you have some free time, try and go for a couple pieces. If you get it, great. If you don't, that's fine. If you want to full send it, you absolutely can. But with the weapons, it is a little bit more of a grind, just because you have to get multiple copies of those weapons. So however you prefer to play the game, guys, but ideally you do want to max this unique ability out whenever is convenient for you. And this is how you're going to unlock the Enduring Legacy. I hope I was able to help you out. If I did help you out, please consider dropping a sub. It does go a very long way. I appreciate all the support. I am Samix Plays. I will be doing the other weapon guides, and I hope you guys have a good one. Peace out.